Hi, everybody. This is Steve Maggi. Welcome to Building Your Bridge, where we talk to experts and professionals that work with international investors and international entrepreneurs that want to come to the US. And it's my honor to have as my guest Patrick Findaro, one of the founders of Visa Franchise. Thanks for coming on, Patrick. We've known each other for a while, so it's nice to finally do this.
Exactly. We've been talking about it for some time now. Thanks a lot, Steve.
Absolutely. What's the best option? Is it an E2 franchise? Is it an existing business that you purchase? Or how about just a brand new startup? What do you think? What would be your
Good
not
question.
very long answer to that, I guess?
We've recently added two new services to Visa franchise. One being the self-guided business search through our sister company Vetted Biz, where we have those 5,000 franchises and businesses for sale. And then another is just a US business consultation. So as of February 2021, we're charging $189, satisfaction guaranteed, where I talk to the candidate. I speak Spanish, Portuguese, English, and I also have colleagues that speak French and Mandarin, where it's exactly that. We'll go through their profile
Right,
and review some options in terms of buying businesses, case studies there, buying a new franchise, buying an existing franchise location, and just get them on the right path and connecting them to the right advisor like yourself on the immigration side.
hmm,
So, that they can basically have a good understanding and a foothold of where to start. Many of our clients, I'll say, we like franchising. It's not the best fit for everyone. You
right,
can also go the existing business route, but be mindful the due diligence every time you want to get a CPA to do an audit is $3,000 to $4,000. So you might do that for 4 or 5 businesses and rack up a $15,000 to $20,000 fee with the accountant, the CPA, and you still haven't gone anywhere. You've just spent $20,000, and
right.
you still have to look at existing businesses for sale. So many people do start with the franchise path, and I'd say 80% of the clients Visa franchise we work with, we're able to identify one of the 1,800 plus franchises that we've evaluated that does fit their needs. But if they're not going with the franchise that we've presented, generally franchising isn't the best fit, and we'll connect them to the right advisor after that for business brokers in Florida, Texas, California to buy
Right.
an existing business, or there's some consultants that just help with startups. So I think there's no one size fits all, but it just depends on the experience, the capital, and if they're open to really following a system, or if they're more hard headed and they want to do things themselves. Then franchising is probably not the right path.
Yeah, if I would chime in on that answer at the tail end, I would say that the riskiest thing probably, obviously, you have to vet whatever you're doing, but the riskiest proposition is probably doing your own startup if you don't have a previous track record and you don't have an exhaustive investigative report on the market itself and really can prove in every single way and quantitatively in every other way that it's really going to flourish. You're taking a bigger risk. And also, on the immigration side, what I always tell people is that if people don't recognize the brand, right? If you go into a Crunch Gym or something like that, the adjudicator, who's an American working overseas at an embassy or consulate, probably will recognize it, or they'll Google it and they'll say, "Oh, look at all these locations," and
There's 30 or there's hundreds of locations.
that first response or that first reaction by an officer also is important, because what I always say is you can dot your I's and cross your T's and pass every legal test, but the final decision will be made on the probability of success of the business. And that means creating those jobs and staying afloat and paying your taxes, right? So,
Yeah. And then on the startup side, I mean, it's really rare for someone just to parachute into the US, not already having lived here and have a successful business. Like generally they're already employed here. Or, they've spent thousands of dollars on market research and they've gotten some initial clients, and then they enter the US market, or they raise millions of dollars of capital and all right, we're going to open up 20 locations, and they go all in. Where someone that hasn't spent time in the US, working in the US, opening up a business, I mean, it's quite risky. If I look from my career, you know, if I didn't have all the relationships in the US that I did, to start Visa franchise, it would have been nearly impossible, and we would have run out of cash. We couldn't.
And without immigration issues, just you guys with all your contacts and launching your own business based on the experience that you both had.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unless you have really a lot of money or raise, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars of capital, there's a good chance that you're going to run out of cash, and that's how businesses fail. They don't fail. You know,
Right.
that's the main reason they fail. They run out of money, and they have to shut down the operations.
And the expression penny wise, pound foolish is, I've also found, comes across a lot. Those clients that want to cut corners on the investment, or skimping on certain projected costs, or not putting up all the money, or not getting that sufficient legal physical premises in place, those things that they need to pass the test. It's a bad sign going forward if they're not willing to take the plunge completely and make sure that they have the funding.
Yeah, I think even with escrow, like we've had a couple of denials where the funds were in escrow, and it seems like the consulate officer sees that as an easy way out. And
absolutely, it means you're not making a full commitment. It's you're in 100% or you're not. That's the most important thing to prove, right? Not only you have the funding and the right project, but you're completely in. And that means you're not going to back out and just end up working from your house in your pajamas, and you're actually going to employ people, right?
You see some nationalities, like, for example, Argentines and French, where and historically they've done real estate investments, and they had a grand business plan to fix and flip 20 homes in 5 years, and they only do one home,
right?
And they try to renew that, and you have a few other of your fellow countrymen do that.
It's not going to happen. Yeah,
you are, and now that business model is red flagged.
Correct. That's true, and then that hurts those future applicants as well.